Hey beautiful people, it's Minsco here. Now in this video, I'm going to help you become a better UI designer with 6 design challenges. So let's dive in. Wah! I am very pedantic when it comes to UI design. I really think about the user. So with this iOS screen, we have a scenario where the user is inputting their password and then they need to proceed to the next screen. Now with this iOS screen, what do you see is the issue and how can we solve this to make the experience a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more seamless to use? Now have a quick think about it, and I'm gonna have a really quick sip of my matcha green tea latte. All right guys, so hopefully you've got an idea about this. What we want to do, especially specifically for mobile apps, we need to make sure that we don't tuck our CTAs up in the corner where it is extremely hard to reach, and we want to make sure that the CTAs are extremely clear and obvious and in an area where they are more accessible. So we want to make sure that we have the continue button down here where the thumb can easily access. Now, I've also crafted this beautiful visual to illustrate this. Now, where your thumb can reach generally sits around this area over here. Once you bypass the half screen of the phone, it gets a little bit hard if the user is using one hand to hold their phone. Now, the light green area is called the stretch area. That's where you're really stretching the user to try touch things on the screen. And if the user is using the left hand, that bottom right corner, whoa, that is very, very difficult. You are setting them off on an absolute marathon to try reach over there. So what you want to do is you want to make sure all the key CTAs are sitting within the key touch zones. Now, the second design challenge for you, have a look at this card. Take a look at it. So obviously it's a card that you potentially would imagine that you see on an e-commerce website. You've got a little photo of the actual apparel that they're promoting. You've got a title, you've got a little bit of a price tag, and then you've got a color selector. Now have a think about it. There is no need to rush with this. Have a quick think about it. Think about the user. What features are we enabling the user to use and interact on the screen? And how can we better improve the user interaction? So have a think about what is the issue and how do we improve it? I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about this. 3, 2, 1. So what we really need to do is we need to bring out those color palettes. So depending on the user, in the very first card, what we are actually asking the user to do is we're asking them to tap once just to figure out what colors are available, and then they have to tap again to select the color that they want to preview. Now that is 2 steps. However, if you just bring out those colors onto a palette like this, 1, you are solving the issue by simplifying the UI. 2, you are actually letting the user know what you have available without having to tap. And 3, you're reducing 1 tap to get the user to the value that you want them to do, which is previewing the different colors. So this is how you can simplify UI and also make it more intuitive, but then also reduce the amount of work that you actually have to design and develop while working on a new feature. Now, oh, and if you are wondering, yes, I used my very own Designership design system in Figma to create all these interfaces. So if you do want access to it, feel free to check the link in the description. There's a very juicy coupon code for you just to get 10 bucks off. Yes, I love you guys. The very third design challenge, guys. Here, imagine this card was on an e-commerce platform and you've got a list of all the categories. And as you can see down the bottom, you might realize that the list of categories sort of go beyond the card itself. Now think about this interaction. How can we improve this UI so the user has a better expectation that there are more categories below? Have a quick think about it, give you a couple of seconds, and we'll go from there. This is what we should be doing. It's as simple as working with your developing team and asking them, can we implement a scroll bar on default? Just to let the user know that this area is actually scrollable. When you don't have that scroll bar and when it only appears on hover, you are taking the risk that you are assuming that all your users understand this design pattern and they know that they can scroll. Sometimes what's worse is that when UI designers design a card and there are overflowing categories, they might not even preview that half of the next item. and they might cut it off right after skinny, and it's not even obvious that there is more content. Now, the very next design challenge. Have a think about this one. So we're talking about the exact same UI component, and the user has already selected denim, right? How can we improve this piece of UI for a user who has already selected something, and what can we add to this component to make it a little bit more useful and a little bit more efficient? If they're going to be adding more, they might potentially be removing some. What can we do? I'll give you a few seconds to have a think about this. Now, hopefully you've got a few thoughts around this. Obviously, there are lots of different things that we can add, but one of the most annoying experiences that I find is if I decide to click on multiple and quite a few categories, and then I want to deselect them all, it's really, really frustrating to have to do them manually. So whenever someone selects one category or selects a specific item, always be sure to let them know how many they've selected, and also more importantly, give them the option to be able to clear everything, to be able to clear all the categories at once. Because a lot of people, when they're browsing on e-commerce websites or they're flicking through filters, they'll generally move between quite a few, and they're going to try to radically change a few options just to see what they can find on the specific platform. So make sure whenever someone clicks on a filter, provide that, indicate to them how many they've selected, and then have the option to be able to clear them all in one go. All right, guys, so we're coming to the end. Here is another design challenge. This specifically, this modal is saying, are you sure? Do you really want to delete all your records? This process cannot be undone, right? So this is a modal, and the action that it's confirming is quite a severe and quite an important action, right? So once they confirm that they're deleting all their records, it might be an accounting software, it might be some sort of software where you've got information, some data, and you're removing it forever. This process cannot be undone. So it's quite severe, you can't go back. How can we improve this modal to really reinforce the fact that this is a very important modal? So have a quick think about it. And let's see if you can come up with some really creative ideas. Hopefully now you guys have some very good ideas. What we want to do, or at least what I would be doing, is I would be utilizing the color of red to reinforce to the user, hey, like I need your attention. Don't run away, focus on this modal. It's something important is going to happen. So please make sure that you really take note of this. You notice that red right away has this subconscious trigger in your mind. The second thing that I would do is, instead of saying yes as the main CTA, or confirm, or okay, or I understand, I would specifically and explicitly tell them that this CTA is going to delete all records. And if the user clicks on it, they are acknowledging the fact that I'm going to delete all the records. So these are the two tactics that I will implement into this modal to really make sure that the user is aware that, whoa, this is like a bit scary. And then delete all records is a conscious decision on the user that I'm going to delete it all. And especially if you're working in highly regulated industries like insurance, one of my major clients, which was IAG, the Insurance Australia Group, which is Australia's largest insurance company, we have to make sure that our copy is very, very explicit, because people can create lawsuits and sue specific companies for having misleading or misguided copy. So make sure you have really explicit copy when it comes to significant actions on your platform. Now, the very last design challenge, guys. Here is a specific card, and we have a very nice little title, smash the like button. It's $0 to smash that like button. What can we do to improve this design card over here? Now, if you are new to this channel and you're new to these videos, and if you're new to my videos, it might not be obvious to you, but if you have been watching my videos, I really do hope that you can see what we can improve here. Now have a quick think about it. All right, guys, now hopefully you have some ideas. What we really need to do is, we don't just smash the like button on this channel when we appreciate these videos. We always gently smash that like button. So if you guys appreciate this video and you find some value in it, please make sure to gently smash that like button. All right, guys, so before I let you go, hopefully you found this video extremely useful. And if you were curious, I did create all these design cards with my very own design system. So make sure to check that link in the description and get 10 bucks off with that Juicy coupon code. And if you want to get notified about new and upcoming courses that I will be releasing this year, make sure to check the link in the description. It's at mizco.net/courses, and I will be teaching and releasing a number of different courses to help you become a better designer and creator. All right, guys, now hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in another video very soon.